Hi guys and welcome back to another Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade video. Today I thought why not make a guide and showcase to Sukuna since he has just gotten a rerun. Since you can see I have a level 150 with one dupe, I'm just missing 4 dupes, but besides that he's basically fully maxed and his first 2 skills aren't maxed, but this is definitely enough to show actually pretty much the full potential of Sukuna. So I've decided to showcase him on floor 60 in the Illusory Tower with this team. This team should basically bring out his full damage potential. Of course it's still better if you have Inumaki or Geto, if you have them, put them into the team, it's gonna be more effective. But Momo and Kamo are still gonna be very good because they all multiply with each other. So you're definitely gonna have pretty much full multipliers. Now then, let's get to Sukuna's first skill, which is called Know Your Place. It deals 214.2% ranged Jujutsu damage to a selected enemy and fills his own ultimate gauge by 100. It also inflicts 1 stack of 20% continuous Jujutsu damage, which is called Laceration for 3 turns. Each stack of Laceration increases an additional damage of Laceration by 20%. This skill cannot be used if skill restriction status is active. This status comes in if you use his ult. This skill also has a 10% crit chance and 50% crit damage increase on the crits. Plus, what you also gotta mention is that, spoiler, Sukuna can't Plague Flash on any of his skills, thus he also has no Plague Flash damage increase. So now let's get to Sukuna's second skill, which is actually called Show Me What You're Made Of. This skill deals 350.4% melee taijutsu damage to a selected enemy for 3 hits, with all of them having a medium chance of performing a critical hit. It also increases his own critical hit rate by 45.1% for 3 turns and increases his own critical hit damage by 75.2% for 3 turns. If skill restriction status is active, so after he used his ult, the skill effect changes. It increases his own damage dealt by 50% for 1 time, and the higher his own cursed energy is when skill is activated, the greater the damage dealt increase is, up to 150% at 115 cursed energy. It also deals 451.2% melee taijutsu damage to the selected enemy for 3 hits, and increases the selected enemy's damage received by 45.1% for 3 turns. His critical hit rate on all the attacks is 70%. If skill restriction is activated though, it's only 50%. Also the critical damage increase on the crits is 50%. Also he can't Plague Flash on the skill, thus he has no Plague Flash damage increase. Now let's get to Sukuna's third skill, which is actually, in my opinion, the strongest of the bunch, and it's called Invisible Slashes. This skill deals 240.6% ranged Jujutsu damage to a selected enemy and inflicts 2 stacks of 20% continuous Jujutsu damage, Laceration, for 3 turns. But if own cursed energy is 40 or more, it changes the skill effect to a 40 cursed energy cost and increases the damage dealt to 481.3% ranged Jujutsu damage. It also inflicts 2 stacks of 40% continuous Jujutsu damage Laceration for 3 turns. Also the skill changes again, which we're gonna talk about later, if you have even higher cursed energy. But for now, we'll just look at what this skill does with 40 cursed energy. Of course, which I can already mention, you cannot use this skill if the skill restriction status is active. So after using your ult, you cannot use it the turn after. The skill also has a 5% crit chance and 50% crit damage increase. Now then, let's get to Sukuna's ultimate, the most intriguing part of his kit. This skill is called Domain Expansion Malevolent Shrine. It expands the domain, grants a sure hit effect to self for 1 turn, nullifies attack nullification status for 1 turn, and deals 1684.5% range jutsu damage to all enemies for 8 hits. It also inflicts 4 stack of 50% continuous jutsu damage laceration for 4 turns. Each stack of laceration increases an additional damage of laceration by 20%. It also causes you to activate the skill restriction status for 2 times, and it also causes you to not be able to charge your own ultimate skill gauge for 3 turns, and it increases the maximum amount of cursed energy by 100 that you can have. It also recovers cursed energy by 200. This skill has a 10% crit chance and a 50% crit damage increase on all the hits. So now in just a second we're also gonna see Sukuna's combo ultimate effect. So the effect that happens when he does an ultimate with another character. His combo ultimate effect is that he deals 100% range jutsu damage to all enemies, and it increases his own and the combo allies break damage by 10% for 2 turns. It also fills all allies ultimate gauge by 110, excluding self and combo ally. So here now you could also see the skill restriction status. So let's get to the last part of Sukuna's third skill that I was talking to you about before. If his own cursed energy is 90 or more, the skill effect changes again, and it now costs 90 cursed energy and deals 1203.2% range jutsu damage to a selected enemy. It also inflicts 3 stacks of 50 continuous jutsu damage laceration for 3 turns. So you basically have a mini nuke again. It's basically a slightly weaker ultimate. But instead of having it only once, you have it 2 times in a row. So this run is basically here just to show his auto skills that he also has. I'm on floor 46 in Luji Tower, which should be able to show them pretty well. So let's get right into the first one. Like you could just see, Sukuna healed himself. There's his auto skill reverse curse technique. At the start of the turn he recovers his own HP based on the frequency of hit received. If his skill can hit multiple times, it still counts as 1 hit received. If no hit received, he can recover his own HP by 6500 with a 20% chance. If receiving 1 hit of 3000 HP damage, he has a 50% of recovering the 6500 HP, and if receiving 2 or more hits, he has an 85% chance of recovering his own HP by 6500. Now let's get into his second auto skill, which is actually why I decided to use this floor, because here you can see it very well. His second auto skill, here you can see it, is called King of Curses, and at the start of the battle it grants poison, darkness, soul, stun, confusion immunity to himself. It also grants immunity to instant death effects caused by soul damage to self, and grants 30% flame resistance to self. Sukuna also technically has an auto skill that causes him, when he performs a critical hit, to increase his own damage dealt by 30% by 2 turns and recover his own cursed energy by 20. He also has an auto skill that causes him to, if he receives damage of 3000 HP, have a 50% chance to increase his own taijutsu and jutsu stat by 20% for 2 turns. And this skill can actually stack. So now that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would appreciate a like and sub. See you in the next one. Bye!